Today we're going to manage users in Linux the way it's actually done in real IT environments. This is not theory and not shortcuts, just the simplest, correct way to create users, check them, and remove them when needed. If you're new to Linux, this will feel very manageable. And if you would like to follow along, there's a link down below to try Linode for free. Now let's move to the terminal. Before we start managing users, we need permission. In Linux, user management requires administrative access. That usually means using sudo. So if I run the command who am I see my username. This shows the user you are currently logged in as. If this is not an admin capable user, Linux will stop us later. In real world environments, this prevents junior users or compromised accounts from changing system access. Creating users is one of the most common admin tasks. We will do this the standard safe way, by using sudo useradd -m and then the username. And no output means that it ran successfully. The -m option creates a home directory for the user. Without it, the user would exist but has no personal workspace. This is how you would onboard a new employee or a contractor on your server that you're managing. Now, a user cannot log in without a password, though. So to create a password for Alice, since you are administrator of the server, you can run the command sudo passwd and then the user we want to give a password for. And you should have the output new password. This is where you would give them a password. Hit enter. It wants you to confirm the password. Hit enter again, and then you should see password updated successfully. Linux does not show passwords while typing. This is intentional and normal. This is done during account creation or password resets, which is something that as an IT professional, you're going to be doing a lot. Now in IT, you never assume a command worked. You must always verify. So to verify that Alice actually exists, we're going to do ID and then the username Alice. And we should see this output. This confirms that the user exists and shows their ID in groups. And Alice right now has a user ID of 1001, so that means she is the second user on this machine. And she's in the default group Alice that it gets created whenever you create a user on a Linux machine. Now every normal user should have a home directory. So if we were to run the command ls of the home directory, and I'm going to highlight this because that's kind of dark, this command will show that a user's workspace exists. So right now we see the Alice user we just created and we see my user. If there was any missing home directories, this can cause login failures and cause tools to break. Now some users will need elevated access. In Linux, this is controlled by groups. In order to add users to groups, you use sudo usermod -a big G, the group name. We're going to do sudo, and we're going to add Alice to the sudo group. And again, we have no output, which means that this works successfully. Now the lowercase a means to append without removing any groups, and the uppercase G means group. This helps to avoid removing any existing group memberships that Alice has. And again, as an IT professional, you're always going to confirm access change. And probably the easiest way to confirm that Alice is in the sudo group is by running groups Alice. And what this does is it will show any groups that Alice belongs to. And we see that she belongs to the default Alice group for her user, and she also now belongs to the sudo group. So this confirms that Alice now has administrative privileges. Another critical aspect of being an IT professional is testing a new user's access beforehand. To do that, we do su for switch users, hyphen, and then the user you want to switch to, in this case, Alice. Now ask for her password. and you'll notice that the command line prompt has changed. That is because we are now logged in as the new user. And by using this dash in front of the username, this ensured that the full environment that they will see when they log in is loaded. This is a great way as an IT professional to confirm that onboarding is complete before handing off credentials to a new user. Now, when a user leaves, accounts must be removed. So I'm going to type in exit to go back to my user. I'm going to do sudo user del for delete, -r for remove home directory, and the username, in this case Alice. Now this error message is to be expected since Alice hasn't done any work on this machine. This is basically saying that she didn't have this particular directory, was not found. But again, you need to make sure you use the -r so that it removes their work area. Without it, it could leave files behind that you may not want on your system. Best case scenario is files that are just taking up space. Worst case scenario, there could be orphaned accounts or even data links if the work area is not removed. And again, because we're an IT professional, we're going to make sure that the work area was removed by doing ls of the home directory. And this time, all we see is my user in the home directory. Probably the biggest mistake that I see Linux beginners making, and I myself forget to do it a lot, is using sudo. If you see any permission errors, you are not using admin access. The second biggest mistake I see a lot of people make is forgetting the -m for home directory or the work area when creating a user. A user without a home directory won't be able to log in correctly, and they won't be able to do work normally without extra guardrails being put in place, which is a lot more work than you will typically need for a user. The third biggest mistake that I see a lot of beginners make is using an uppercase G alone instead of first putting the lowercase a. The lowercase a stands for append. That makes sure you do not delete any group access they may already have. The uppercase G alone forces group access and sometimes can override current group access they may have. And if it does that, it usually does that silently in the background, and you never know it until there's a problem. So always be sure to use lowercase a, uppercase D, the group name. Okay, now let's put this into a real world example. Let's say we have a new developer who just joined our team. So first we're going to create their user, sudo user add -m so they have a work area, and the username Jim. Then we're going to create the password by using sudo passwd for password, and then the user's name Jim. Then we're going to add Jim to the admin group, and we'll do that by using sudo usermod -lowercase a, uppercase G, sudo Jim. And now we're going to verify access, and we're going to do that by switching users to Jim. We can run ID and make sure that not only is he in his default Jim group, but he's also in the sudo group. We've confirmed access. We'll exit back to my user, and we can hand off these credentials to the actual Jim user himself. And this is exactly how real Linux systems are managed. Once this feels comfortable, the next step is learning how to lock a user account without deleting it. This is very common for temporary access changes, but it is beyond the scope of what this video intends. Now go and work through these a few times and it will start to feel natural. Linux user management is simple once you slow down and verify each step. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment down below. And before you click away, if you want the commands and steps without rewatching the video, they are documented on my site. It's built to be used while you work, not just watched. The link will be in the video description.